The situation we have for this rescue, my second of 4.2, is 3 players down at a Lazarus location. Now, I have not been... Oof, rough landing that was. I have not been to any of these locations yet, so this is a doubly cool experience for me, having so many people to rescue and it being a place that I have not explored and completely unfamiliar with. That being said, I'm going to take things a little bit more slowly and do a tactical approach to this situation by checking out things from a distance with my P6 LR with the 8X Theta Pro low light scope, an amazing piece of equipment that is. The down players have told me that there are 20 to 30 NPCs around them that appeared when they pulled some sort of key card out. And I'm just going to take my time, mosey on up here, take out people as I see them from a distance. Not people, NPCs. And I like the fact that Star Citizen allows you an opportunity now to use a sniper rifle. I know there were changes made in previous patches with scope glints and all this stuff, with claims by either the community or CIG that sniper kills were this common thing. They were not. I don't know where they got that data, probably Arena Commander stats with people using red dots on their P6s, and CIG just did a knee-jerk reaction where they thought they needed to introduce something to level the playing field for sniper rifle use, even though no one's using it against players in its traditional long-range capacity like you're supposed to use it. But at least for now, Star Citizen has a little bit more serious theme and tone to its FPS. You know, a dialed down Ready or Not or Arma or Squad, which is nice because the opposite end of the spectrum is just so plentiful and just so played out. You know, your very casual, arcadey Twitch shooters. Come on, I mean, let's have some integrity and a more unique identity here for this game, which it's maintaining at the moment. So definitely a much better experience in my opinion. So I've moved up from sniping here. I've cut a lot of this for brevity. Shoot that poor guy. And again, not really sure of where I'm going other than having a finally working rescue beacon marker after not having them since 4.0 PTU. Though I just read on the issue council that a previous issue was the fact that the markers were crossing, or the beacon contracts were crossing the shards. So you could be in a completely different shard than someone who needed rescue, and they're not even in your, you know, they're not even in your server with you, or your shard or whatever. So again, just taking things slowly. A little fire from the left, heard a grenade blast. It's not a rush. It's not a rush. Use your cover. You know, watch your angles. Very easy. Shoot the unarmed civilian there. Hey, it's Geneva suggestions, right? And just make sure you're not gonna have anybody flank you. Last thing you want to do is turn around and go heal someone and you take it right up the ass from one of these NPCs. I wish vaulting would be, or whatever this mantling or whatever becomes more common, or would become more common on all objects of that height and type. Earlier I tried jumping further down to the start point, and I could not climb something, which is not too disappointing, but I think it would make a lot better and more consistent if you could mantle things of a similar height and configuration. So just watch in the back here. Again, you don't want to get flanked. You don't want these guys to spawn in and then come up behind you. Healed player 1. And now I'm going to move up with them to help our marked player 2 here, Lorville Larry. Sniper rifle is just so clutch, as the kids say. Whip out the handy-dandy multi-tool in a moment. Oh, let me go shoot these guys. Which turns out to be a window, so props to the janitorial staff of these ASD locations, because I definitely thought that was an open space. So wasted 2 rounds there. Always pull whoever you're trying to rescue behind cover if possible. You don't want to revive them just for them to get shot again and you have to repeat the process. Of course, I remember experiencing massive desync in this moment where my weapons are switching, and poor Lorville Larry here is bopping all over the place. So if he wasn't that injured before, he is now. We'll try to pull him back down and take back out the med gun if it allows. Nope, brought out my primary weapon. Here we go. So Larry has a nice tier 2 chest injury, a tier 3 arm injury, and a tier 3 leg injury. Now you go into auto when you're aiming down sights and you F that little slider, click auto there, and you can then mitigate those injuries for a time, right? You're still much more susceptible to death and further injury, with those injuries increasing in tier. But at least in the meantime, it can mitigate most of the effects of those. It's kind of an easy mode feature, but right now in Star Citizen, you can respawn in every med bed, and you keep all your stuff when you die, so I guess it's kind of par for the course right now. Sometimes you gotta baby the fans. But going on to the third player here, Lego My Ego. Again, I've mentioned this in other videos, rescue beacons are obviously working now. However, since the UI change, what was that, 3.22 or 3.23, you no longer receive a notification as a player in the server on your screen. So you have to religiously check the contracts tab in your mobiGlas to see if there is a rescue beacon up, which is really fucking annoying and sad. I don't know what the logic was for this by CIG. I don't know if they wanted to prevent players from absentmindedly taking rescue beacons that they had no intention of going to, just because they accidentally hit left bracket on something, even though the newer notification for rescue beacons that came out with the UI change didn't allow you to accept it from on screen anyway. You had to still go into the mobiGlas to get it. It's still kind of dumb that you have no way of knowing. So for people like me who, and there are thousands of me, it's, you know, you may just be seeing this video, but there are tens and maybe even hundreds of thousands of people, that sounds like a lot, but who are interested in this sort of gameplay. It is annoying to keep going into the contract list to look for it. But that's the end of this one. This is a really cool looking location. I suspect I'll probably be back here quite a bit more, and I hope for it. Send your beacons, guys.